Across centuries, humankind has sought to explain the mystery of the mind, from the balance of ancient bodily fluids to the circuits of modern computation. This journey through the physiological and medical roots of psychology reveals how science evolved from the humors of Hippocrates to the algorithms of artificial intelligence. In ancient Greece, two famous doctors, Hippocrates and Galen, believed that our body has four main fluids called humors: blood, yellow bile, black bile, and phlegm. They thought that when these four fluids are in balance, a person stays healthy and calm. When they are out of balance, a person becomes sick or mentally disturbed. To fix this imbalance, doctors use treatments like bleeding, removing some blood, or purging, making the person vomit or clean their stomach. This idea was one of the first attempts to explain mental and physical health using biology, what we now call early biological psychiatry. The humoral theory, though old and basic, was important because it suggested that our mind and behavior come from what happens inside our body. This idea led to a scientific way of thinking called reductionism, the belief that complex things like emotions, thoughts, or mental problems can be explained by simple physical causes in the body. In short, the theory helped people start thinking that mental health and physical health are connected. In the 1600s, René Descartes suggested that everything in life is made of two parts, the body and the mind. The body works like a machine, following physical rules. The mind is non-physical, something we cannot touch or measure. Descartes thought the pineal gland in the brain connected the two, sending tiny airy spirits so the mind could control the body. This idea, called Cartesian dualism, helped psychology become its own field. But it also separated mental and physical health, a gap that medicine still struggles to close today. In the 19th century, philosophy began turning into science. A major discovery, called the Bell-Magendie law, showed that the spinal cord has two types of nerve roots with different jobs. The dorsal roots carry sensations from the body to the brain. The ventral roots carry movement commands from the brain to the body. This finding explained how the body reacts automatically, what we now call a reflex. It also gave psychology its first scientific understanding of how behavior and the nervous system are connected. The scientist Florence studied the brain by removing small parts of it in animals, a method called brain ablation. He believed that all mental functions, like thinking, feeling, and moving, were spread throughout the whole brain, not in one specific area. Later, two scientists, Broca and Wernicke, proved him wrong. They found that when certain parts of the brain were damaged, people developed specific speech problems. Their discoveries showed that the mind doesn't work from everywhere in the brain. Instead, different functions have their own specific locations. In other words, the mind had an address. Santiago Ramon y Cajal discovered that the brain is made up of individual cells called neurons. These neurons send messages to each other across tiny invisible gaps. Later, Charles Sherrington gave these gaps a name: synapses. He showed that neurons communicate through these junctions, forming the basic language of the brain that controls all our thoughts, feelings, and actions. As physiological psychology focused only on brain activity to explain behavior, it sometimes ignored the full complexity of the mind. To address this, it evolved into neuroscience, a broader field that combines biology, psychology, and computation to understand the brain and behavior in a more complete way. In 1969, the Society for Neuroscience was created to bring together scientists from different fields. Its goal was to study the brain as a whole system, understanding how it works from tiny molecules all the way to thoughts and behavior. This helped unite research and reduce the earlier fragmentation in brain science. The biomedical model viewed mental illness as a chemical imbalance, a problem of the brain alone. While it advanced pharmacology, it often ignored psychological and social realities, leading to stagnation in mental health outcomes. George Engel's biopsychosocial model changed the way people thought about medicine. It brought together the body, mind, and social factors to explain health and illness. The model showed that our genes, thoughts, emotions, and environment all work together to shape our well being. This idea became the foundation of modern psychiatry and psychology, helping doctors and therapists see patients as whole people, not just as physical bodies. Using a machine called the EEG, Hans Berger was the first to record the brain's electrical activity. This allowed scientists to see the brain in action, showing that our thoughts and emotions create rhythmic electrical waves. It was the first direct glimpse into the brain's living energy, the rhythm of the mind at work. Functional imaging brought a new way to study the living, working brain. With tools like PET and fMRI scans, scientists could see which parts of the brain become active during different thoughts, feelings, or actions. These images showed how specific brain circuits are involved in conditions like depression, schizophrenia, and memory, helping to connect mental symptoms with physical brain structures. Computational psychiatry uses mathematics and computer models to explain how the mind and brain work together. It studies how beliefs, emotions, and actions arise from the brain's information processing, like a computer running complex programs. This field creates a scientific bridge between psychology, the study of the mind, and biology, the study of the brain. Artificial intelligence (AI) can now analyze brain data to predict which treatments or therapies will work best for each person. This means doctors may soon be able to offer personalized mental health care, where treatment is tailored to the individual's brain and needs. What once seemed impossible, truly personalized psychiatry, is now becoming possible through AI and advanced algorithms. Today, modern therapy is informed by neuroscience. Brain scans show that practices like mindfulness, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and emotional regulation can actually reorganize brain circuits. This proves that talking, reflecting, and training the mind can physically change the brain's wiring, not just our thoughts or feelings. From ancient theories of bodily fluids to modern AI, the goal has always been the same: to understand the whole human being. The history of psychology's medical roots shows how science has gradually learned to see the mind and body not as separate parts, but as one connected, dynamic system, alive, adaptable, and deeply intertwined. Thank you for joining this journey through the history and future of psychology. Keep exploring, keep learning, and continue uncovering the mysteries of the mind.